everyone. Thank you for being here. Today we are talking about mental freedom and 3 ways we can start embracing it today. Step number 1 is writing our thoughts down. And why should we write our thoughts down? Because we have over 70,000 thoughts a day. If every single one of those thoughts was a word, we would write a book worth of thoughts every single day. And at the end of the day, if we aren't aware of what we are thinking, we aren't aware of who is taking up our time, what thoughts are, what feelings are, what emotions are, because we don't know what we're doing. We are simply reacting. Mental freedom is embracing that your thoughts are there to help you, to guide you, but they can run amok if we don't control them. And just like everything else that we do in our life, we have to practice this. So a journal can help us direct our thoughts, tell us where to go, or tell us what's going on. If you're thinking about something nonstop and you don't let yourself sit with it or understand why, you're going to keep going into that same pattern. If you don't figure out why you react a certain way when friends act a certain way towards you, you aren't going to be able to change how you're acting. You won't be able to move forward because you don't know where you're starting from. If the GPS does not know where you are, it cannot tell you where to go. So not only do you need to know where you are, you need to know where you're going. So we need to figure out both of these, and journaling can help us figure out how we got here, and it can also show us where we want to go. Because until you get good with the thoughts that are swirling around in your head, you're never going to be aware of what is actually the life that you want to live. What do you want from this life? You have to decide and you have to embrace it. So mental freedom is you taking your power back, realizing that other people can say things to you, they can do certain things, but you are the only person who gets to control what you think, what you do, and how you do it. And your mental freedom exists in you understanding that your entire life needs to be focused on what you're doing and why. Everything else, what other people want from you, what other people think, what other people are doing, does not concern you. It does not have anything to do with you. And you might be thinking, well, when my best friend calls me and expects me to talk to her for hours and I don't feel like it, and then she gets mad, that does affect me. Maybe it does affect you, but you need to understand why. Why did you answer the call? Why are you allowing this person to come in and come out of your life whenever they feel like it? Only you get to decide that. You don't have to answer the call. You don't have to show up. You don't have to do anything you don't want to. But if you feel like you do have to, that is where you have to tackle it. And you don't have to go and dismantle every single situation you've ever had in your life. But what you do need to do is to figure out why you act a certain way. I have struggled with thinking a lot of things, with always overthinking, with wondering why they acted a certain way, why they did a certain thing. And I found a lot of freedom in realizing that I have to accept that people are the way that they are, that their behavior is what it is, that their actions are what they are, and I have to choose what I'm going to do and how much I'm going to spend my energy on it. If my family is super excited about all the things I have planned or they're not, that's up to them. How much effort I put into an experience, into a situation, into anything is up to me. How other people perceive it is not up to me. So worrying about it or being upset because they didn't show up the way that I thought they would only affects me. And then it does affect the relationship because now I'm holding them to expectations that they're never going to meet. And that isn't helping either of us. Instead of focusing on that all that energy of like, why did they do this or why didn't they? I could be like, well, why did I? Why did I spend all of this time? And there could be many very valid reasons. Like they've been there for you and you want to show up for them. But maybe this isn't the way that they want to receive that care and that love. And that is something that you do have to evaluate because you have to decide, are you going to continue to pour energy into them this way or are you going to shift? But mental freedom is the only way that you can actually start to sort this out. You have to work on what you can change, and you have to leave the rest behind. You have to leave everyone else up to their own lives and to let them know, you know what? This is what I did. This is who I am. And this is what I can bring to the table. If you like it, if you don't like it, if I should bring less, that is something that I can do. But this is who I am. And you can adjust your expectations, and you can adjust which people get what energy. If people don't appreciate the lavish dinners or all the fun and the games, then they don't deserve access to it anymore. You don't need to keep giving it to them. But only you, with your own reflections about your energy and emotions and your behavior, can you figure this out. If you feel mentally overwhelmed and stressed, it is because you keep handing your power out to places that it doesn't belong. People are able to pull you into emotional states or push you into thoughts because of how they're acting. But you get to decide how you're going to react. And it's not easy, but it is something you can practice. You can decide today that the next time somebody tells you a certain joke or they don't express how much they care, you can choose to react a different way, because you have the ability to choose all the time. And every thought is going to come up, but you get to choose if it's going to have value, or if it's going to be listened to, or if you're going to ignore it, or if you're going to think about it for 5 seconds and move on. You get to do that. You don't have to say every single thing that comes to your mind, and I have struggled with this. But the person who is a really good listener is a piece of paper and a pen. It is a really great place to go and share all these thoughts. So writing things down is going to enable you to step into feeling like you have freedom over your life, because now you're actually only focusing on the things that you have control over. You have control over how you react, and your thoughts, your beliefs, your actions, your view of yourself. These are things you have control over. You, what other people think of you, what other people see as your value, what other people view you as, you do not have control over. As much as you want people to see you in a certain way, at the end of the day, they're going to choose to see what they want to see, just as you are seeing as well. You may be perceiving other people's emotions or feelings or actions toward you in a certain way, and it's good for you to know why. Why do you feel like all of these people are attacking you, even though you're just trying to show up for them? Are you giving too much and expecting too much in return? Can you stop giving? These are all questions I've asked myself actually today, and I've realized that I can have whatever expectations I want on people, but if they're never going to meet them, the only person it hurts is me, and I think about it too much, and I misperceive my relationships with these people, and I'm just like, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of constantly questioning why people act how they do towards me. They're gonna act that way. I can either accept it or not, but I then have to make a decision. If I can accept that this is their behavior, and that if I want them in my life, this is how they're gonna act, then I need to shift how I'm acting towards them. If they don't care about the lavish dinners or the fun, then that needs to be reduced. Let's go and get dinner at a restaurant instead, so I'm not spending 3 hours cooking. If this is not where they find the value in our time together, then I shouldn't be spending all of my extra time doing it and then expecting that they're going to enjoy it and show up, and then when they don't, I am the only one dealing with the amount of money I spent and the amount of time and being annoyed that no one cared. Maybe they have never cared, and I just need to accept it. So this is me accepting it, taking my power back. Take your power back from all of these people. Start writing what you're doing down, and start making sense of why you act the way that you do and who is causing certain reactions from you. Is it random people? Is it people you're close to? Is it people you work with? Is it your view of yourself? And why is it so daunting when these people act that way? Is it because you're not focusing on the things that make you happy and spending time with that? Every time I spend time thinking about other people and what they did and what they didn't do, that's time that I can't spend on myself now, because there's only so much energy, and where am I spending it, and who gets it? These are the questions you have to ask over and over and over again, And that will become your new practice. But you have to start today. Start asking why. Why did you react that way? Why did that person deserve that kind of emotion or time or energy from you? Did they? And if they didn't, why did you give it to them? Always ask yourself why. Have these high expectations on yourself and not other people. If other people can't reach what you want or believe that they should, then maybe it's time to stop giving them all this energy that you're giving to them. If your friend calls you whenever and doesn't really care that it's your birthday or whatever, and you're constantly handing these elaborate gifts and spending hours on the phone, you may feel like you're giving too much and that person doesn't care. And at the end of the day, if you continue to answer their calls all the time and give them these lavish gifts and give them all this advice and they don't do anything with it, and you're still okay with them not being a great friend and not calling you and not showing up, then that's on you. Why would they change? You're clearly fine with their behavior if you continue to show up that way. Write it out. See what conclusions you get to. But a lot of times people are not going to tell you why they're doing certain things. You have to read between the lines. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter why they give some people so much more energy and you get none. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Why are you spending your energy on it? Why does that person deserve any more energy? They clearly don't even want to give you any. And now you're sitting here thinking about why they're doing what they're doing. It's not bringing you any value, and that's not where your power is. Your power is on, all right, this was the situation. This is how the dinner ended. Now, what am I going to do next? Who am I going to show up to become when I make the next choice? Write it out. It will help you. I have been journaling for many years. I have maybe 30 journals over here that I filled out, and I am still figuring this out. I'm still figuring out how to journal better, how to write things down better. But every single time that I do, I realize that I'm worth figuring out. I'm worth spending time with. And the more people show up and they treat you weird and they treat you badly, the less you resonate with it and the less you want to be around it, because you're like, well, I treat myself well. I make the time for me to sit down and write. I make the time for me to go on walks and to exercise and to cook food and to enjoy my time. This person isn't. That feels weird because you've created a new standard for yourself. And if someone doesn't meet it, it's up to you to decide if they're going to continue to get your energy. So get a journal. If you have been journaling, let me know. What do you journal about? And in a few weeks, we will talk about what a specific journaling practice I've started doing these past few years that has been really helpful and is going to be the jumping off point for this new journey that we're about to go on to into this new year. But for number 2, if you want to embrace your mental freedom, to take your power back, to stop thinking about everyone and everything, go on a walk. Go on a walk. Go on a 10-minute walk. Go on an hour walk. Go on a 2-hour walk. Go on a walk by yourself. Let your thoughts unfold. Let them go wherever they need to, but physically keep moving. You are moving through your thoughts literally and also metaphorically, because you're allowing your thoughts to come into focus, to not be there, to go, to come, and you aren't giving them as much weight because there's this other thing that you're doing that requires some attention, but not enough that you're not aware of your thoughts. So go for a walk, go around the block, go somewhere you are aware of, and just let your thoughts go. See what they say, see what they don't say, and spend some time with you. Start getting used to analyzing what you're doing and what you're thinking and moving. Movement is always helpful because it just gets things flowing. If you sit all day, if you're moving around and driving all day, you're not physically going as many places. Even if you have to get in a car to go somewhere, you're still physically sitting. So if you can get up and go for a walk and move and just be present with your thoughts, you'll start to realize how many don't matter. And you'll start to have a better conversation with yourself, because you'll be like, well, why am I spending time on this person? They were rude to me, they called me out of nowhere, and I feel attacked. Why am I continuing to spend my time there? Or you'll come upon like, oh, it was really sweet when my partner brought me this amazing piece of chocolate on their work trip, and we had a lot of fun cooking. And you'll start to see, where does your mind usually go to? Is it to the good stuff? Is it to the bad stuff? And are you able to self-soothe and figure out why you're thinking the way that you are? A lot of times when we go to other people, we want them to validate whatever emotion we're feeling. When we complain to our partner, we complain to our coworkers, we want them to be as mad about the situation as we are. And usually when people complain about things to you, you aren't as mad as them, or you can see it more clearly, and that's never what someone wants to hear. They want you to be just as mad as them. And though sometimes you are, and you can bounce off each other and you can be mad, sometimes it doesn't work. It doesn't help. And at the end of it, you just feel less happy. You feel less excited about the conversation, and it starts to wane on you. And especially in these past few weeks, I feel like I've had to deal with so many different things, and I've complained so much, and I've been upset, and I've just realized where all these boundaries have been crossed. And I was like, well, I'm the only one who's in charge of any of these boundaries. If I don't say, hey, I need to go to sleep, maybe someone would talk for hours. I don't have to do anything I don't want to do, and no one can make you do it. No one can force you to answer the call. No one can force you to show up to work. No one can force you to stay in any relationship. You are willingly choosing to be there. So what are you choosing to willingly do? Going on a walk is going to help direct some of those answers to you, because you're willing to open yourself up to possibility. You're moving around, you're contemplating things, stuff that you've been thinking about a lot will probably come up, and maybe by the end you'll be a little bit closer to a conclusion. So go for a walk and try to figure it out. Now, the other thing, step number 3 that we've mentioned earlier, is that you need a location to go to. Mental freedom is a lot easier. Putting things into perspective is a lot easier when you know what you're working towards. What is the vision for your life? What is the goal that you're working towards? Why are you going to your job every single day? What is the mission there? What is the mission for your life? What kind of life do you want to live? Do you want to live a life where you're growing a family and you're focusing your time on teaching the next generation what it means to be a valuable part of society? Are you focusing on travel and creating a life full of valuable experiences? Are you interested in creating a startup? What is the vision that you have for your life? And there's many different directions you can go in, and they may change over time, and they probably will become clearer or more granular over time, but only you get to decide. How are you going to know where you're going if you don't ask, if you don't figure it out? You won't. No direction will be favorable because you don't know where you're going. So figure out where you're going. What is the point of all of this? Why are you watching the videos that you watch? Why are you eating the food that you're eating? Why are you going to the job that you're going to? Why are you making a lot of money? Why are you making investments? Why are you not? Why are you doing the things that you are doing? You have to decide that your life is worth more than anything else in this entire world, so that you can live the best life that you can. If you're lucky, you get 80, 90, 100 years on this planet, but some of us are acting as if there's lives after this that we're just entitled to. You don't know what's coming next. You don't know who is coming next, but you get to decide if the choices you're making today are bringing you closer or further away. And that mental freedom is going to encompass all of that. When you decide what your vision is for your life, every choice you make suddenly starts to be a lot easier. That friend that isn't adding value to your life doesn't need to have your attention, because that's not bringing you closer to who you want to be. That family member who couldn't care less if you were there or not doesn't get any more time, because you have a vision for your life, and this person has self-identified that they're not going to be a help to you. So who's helping you bring this vision to life, and who's not? What is this vision that you're going after? And if a vision or goal seems too daunting, it should, because this is our life's purpose. Our purpose in this world is to figure out who we want to be and then pursue it relentlessly. So how are you making decisions to bring that person that you want to be to life? And if your decisions are in any direction for any reason, you're going to feel lost. You're going to feel confused. You're going to feel like you're wasting your time, because you are. We only get one chance. You have to take all of this power back. Stop trying to figure out why your friend or your brother or your sister or your parents don't act the way that you want them to, why they taught you this instead of that, why your boss hates you. Stop spending time on the things that you can't figure out. They're not going to help you get anywhere. Figure out what you want from your life. Do you want to travel? Do you want to grow a family? Do you want to have fun? Do you want to live all over the world? Do you want to travel? What is it that you want to do? Clearly, travel is something that I want to do. But what is it? Any answer is a good one, but you need to find one and spend time on it. This is your life. Your one precious life that you get. It's it. We don't know if there's another life. There may be, there might not be, but all we know is that we have right now. We have this moment. We may not have 15 moments from now, but we have right now. You've already done the most difficult thing that you will ever do in your life. The chance of being born is 1 in 400 trillion. Anything else that you want to achieve in this life is statistically more possible than that. And that was the very first thing that you did. So whatever dreams you have, whatever life you want to live, they're all possible. But you have to decide, and then you have to make every decision about that goal. And the more you can do that, the better your life will be, because you're finally deciding to walk towards the person you want to be. That is what this entire journey is about. That is what the next journey will be about as well. So I hope you stick around and stay tuned, because we got something good for 2026. We've spent a lot of years talking about what we could do and what we might do, and now it's time to do it. So I hope you got something out of today's video. I will see you very soon. Hope you have an amazing week.